Hello, everybody. Welcome to Savage Ink Studios. I'm your host, Ink, and today's sketchbook story time, we are going to be talking about the entitled kids that you get to deal with when you work in retail. Yay. First, I want to make a comment that I really don't understand how so many people seem to have never worked a retail job in your life. Like, weren't you ever a teenager who needed money? Like, holy crap. And as an adult who works in retail, it just blows my mind at how, like, crazy and rude and entitled some people are to their local retail workers. It just doesn't make sense to me. So, I think the first story that comes to mind when we're talking about crazy entitled kids was when I was working at a popular upscale coffee shop, and I cannot tell you how many children would be dragged into the store at 7 o'clock in the morning, or even kids late at night, which would drive me even more nuts. Crazy times of the day. Not that you should ever give your kids coffee, like small children. Why would you buy them an entire coffee drink anyway? But, okay. Working at this place, so many different people, so many different times, would bring screaming toddlers into the shop and order them their very own frozen coffee drinks that are caffeinated, by the way, and like sugary pastry crap. And I'm just like, if your kid is screaming their goddamn brains out, I want this, I want that, why would you give them what they're asking for in the first place? Like, what are you gonna do when you have a teenager who thinks that they can kick and scream and cry and throw themselves on the floor and get whatever they want? Like, it's not always gonna be, I want a donut, I want a cake pop. Eventually, it's gonna be, I want a car. What are you gonna do then when they throw themselves on the floor and scream and cry that they want a car? Like, giving your kids whatever they want when they throw a temper tantrum, not a good way to go, in my opinion. It's also my opinion that if your child is 3, 4, 5, you shouldn't be buying them coffee. And the number of times, too, that I've told these mothers who are like, yeah, I'll get you whatever you want, just stop crying. I would tell these people, we don't have a decaf option of this. It is caffeinated. And the number of parents were like, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Even, I just, blows my mind. It blows my mind, guys. And this is not just specific to working in a coffee shop environment. The number of places that I've worked, grocery store settings, fast food settings, what have you, where I cannot count the number of people who have children ranging from toddler age to early teens who scream and cry, and the parents' response is to give them what they're screaming and crying about. Or just offering them whatever they want. Oh, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? To make them stop crying. Like, let me tell you something. My nephew is 4 years old, and when we go out, he would never, ever, ever act like that. Overtired, hungry, it doesn't matter. If he's tired or hungry, he'll say, hey, Auntie, I'm tired or I'm hungry. And if he wants something, he'll ask nicely. And if I say no, he doesn't throw a temper tantrum. It's, oh, can I have this? This is cool. Oh no, honey, not today. Oh, okay, can I put it on my list? We told him, if there's something that you like and it's just not a good time or we don't have the money for it, you can always put it on a list. And when birthday or holidays come around, tell us what's on your list, and maybe you'll get it. He's 4. He is a very small, young child, and he understands the concept of no, which makes it that much harder for me to understand when people bring their 10-year-olds in, and they're literally throwing themselves on the floor or trashing one of our shelves because their parents said no. How do you even get to that point? And you know what? I understand that everyone's got their bad days. Nobody is exempt from having an occasional bad day as a child where you're just gonna cry. Okay, And I get that you don't always have the option to leave your kids home. You definitely shouldn't just leave them in the car, which is another thing. This is not like an entitled kid thing. This is just another parent thing that blows my mind. People who come in and are shopping for 10, 15 minutes, and you look out the window and you realize that the car that they walked out of, that's still on, that's still running, has two kids sitting in the back seat. Whether it's freezing cold outside, or 90-degree heat, or even if it's a comfortable temperature. Who the hell would leave their two small children in the back seat of a car with nobody else in it while it is still running? Like, or not running. Who leaves their kids in the car while they go shopping? I don't know about you guys. Maybe in like a small town neighborhood where everybody knows everybody, maybe it's more acceptable in those situations. But where I live, that's considered incredibly dangerous. Like, do you want your children to get stolen and sold into sex slavery? Or do you just not give a crap? And it is so easy for people to say, oh, well, you're not a parent, you don't have the right to judge, you don't understand. Well, I've raised several children that are not mine, and I've been around children my entire life, and I don't really care. If you don't want my opinion, don't watch my videos, but who would think that this is okay? And, you know, as far as kids who aren't used to being told no, there are consequences of those actions that are going to go beyond the parents needing to deal with a spoiled teenager who's going to throw a fit if you don't buy them a car. You are sending these children out into the world for other people to deal with. You know, that kid who's never been told no goes to high school and asks a girl out and she's not interested. These are the type of kids who end up shooting up their schools because somebody rejected them. Like, dudes, it is not a crime to tell your child no, they can't have something. It's good for them. And I understand wanting to give your kids everything. I totally understand that. I want that for the children in my life that I love, but I also recognize that giving children an opportunity to earn things that they want is important. It teaches them about responsibility, and it preps them for later in life, because they are not going to grow up and be able to throw themselves on the floor at their job and kick their feet and say, I want a raise, because their ass will get fired. Their boss is not going to give them a raise for throwing a freaking temper tantrum. The girl that they like is not going to go out with them if they throw themselves on the floor and throw a temper tantrum. And best case scenario, okay, well, they're mature and they're not going to throw a temper tantrum, then what? They're just not going to take no for an answer because it's not something they're familiar with? So what does that mean? It means they're just going to harass this girl that they like? They're never going to get anywhere in life like that. At least nowhere good. I mean, maybe 3 hots and a cot in jail for, you know, going into a store and taking something that isn't theirs and walking out with it because mommy taught them that they can have whatever they want and that they don't have to work for it. That's just my opinion. Another thing that really drives me nuts about working retail and entitled kids is kids who trash your store and the parents who let them do it. I gotta tell you, when I moved, I transferred stores within the job that I'm working now from a really, really bad neighborhood to a better neighborhood. And in that really, really bad neighborhood, flocks of children would run into our store with literally no adults following them. They would come in by themselves. We're talking about children from the ages of 5 to 10. Groups of them would come in with no adults. We're not allowed to tell them to leave. And they would literally trash our store. They would destroy our toy aisles. They would throw things. They would break shelves. They would run around, disturb other customers, and there are no adults. Like, you just want to grab them and be like, where is your grown-up? You know? And almost as bad is when parents come in with their kids and watch them do this and say nothing. Or even better, the parents who watch them do this and then tell them, don't worry about it. There are people who get paid to clean this mess up. For your information, no, that is not what we're getting paid to do. Because the expectation is not that people are going to let their children run rampant and destroy our store. We have scheduled times to get things done, and that's not within our schedule. It's got to come at a time where we're supposed to be doing other more important things because you are supposed to watch your child. It blows my mind completely and entirely. And again, who thinks this is okay? If you are one of those people who lets your child go into a store and destroy it and ruin things and break things and throw things all over the place and you don't make them pick it up, you're a scumbag. Just saying. And I don't feel bad about saying that, and I don't really care if anyone disagrees with me, because as a person who works in retail, you are teaching your children to be rude and disrespectful, and you're making work for other people, and you're a scumbag. And that's all I gotta say on the subject. So, I hope you enjoyed my piece here, which is completely unrelated to the topic. I hope you enjoyed my stories and my unasked for opinions. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. If you have any questions, concerns, requests, I would love to hear from you guys, and I will see you in the next one.